Welcome back, race fans. Hey, make sure you check some of these other channels out. Riley's Racing DRC out of the UK, Miniature Car Racing out of Florida, Norman Verne Racing out of Canada, Gravity Track Grand Prix out of Australia, oi! Mini Mafia Motors out of California, dude! And our latest friend from the West Indies, Caribbean Diecast Racing, ma. Good friends, great racing. Alright, back to the show. So I hope you checked out the July Rally Tournament. If you did, then you know 16 drivers got bounced in the first round. Some had transmission issues, broken steering columns, you get the picture. So we brought them all back for a chance at redemption. And one more twist. Instead of 4-car groups, we're going to double that and have 8-car groups. 2 8-car semifinals. Here we go. Starting in the back, we got Stephanie Hughes from Spania Lanes driving the Greenwood Corvette in gold finish. Lance Reed from Hillbilly Racing driving Prototype 24 in blue finish. Prince TJ from Queen Bee Racing driving the Aston Martin in green finish. Kareem Bolo Brown Palos from Miniature Car Racing driving the Strawberry Donut Drifter. Andy McBrien from Madness Motorsports driving the blue Batmobile. Sharky from Vulcan Raceway driving Rigger Motor in pink finish. John Receiver from Jack, John, and Katie Racing driving Lethal Diesel in brown finish. And Tiki J from Adult Diecast Racing driving Roger Dodger in red finish. The keys to victory. Win the lap. You get bonus points when you do. And in this size group, that's going to be huge. Don't DNF. You'll get 0, plus you give a point to the lap winner. Good luck, drivers. Let's race. Hughes and Reed in the front row. Wow, look at that group. Hughes, Tiki J, and Reed leading the group into turn 2. Now Hughes separating, Tiki J trailing, then Reed, turn 3. And it's all Hughes, then Tiki J, Reed, and here comes Receiver. Everybody else DNF'd. So scoring is 9 points for first, 7 for second, 6 for third, on down the line, 1 for last place, and a DNF is a 0. Remember, the lap winner gets a bonus point for each DNF in his or her lap, and the top 4 will advance to the finals. So Hughes is the lap winner and collects the 4 bonus points for 13. Woo! Tiki J, Reed, and the Receiver finishing 2, 3, and 4. Hughes and Tiki J in the front row. Hughes, Reed, Tiki J, Bolo single file into turn 2. And Hughes leading out Reed. Tiki J's flipped, turn 3. And Reed is closing, but Hughes takes it, then Reed. Then Tiki J, Receiver, Bolo, Sharky, and McBrien. So another win with a bonus point, and Hughes is way out front. Hughes, Reed, Tiki J, and Receiver, your top 4. Nobody else is close yet. Receiver and Tiki J in the front row. Tiki J and Hughes leading the group into turn 2. Now Tiki J's pulling away. Hughes is trailing turn 3. Oh, Tiki J flies off the track. That leaves Hughes and Receiver. And it's Hughes and Receiver and Sharky. And that is it. So Hughes, huge bonus points again. Hughes and Reed, they are way in front. Tiki J and Receiver, 13 and 10 points. Sharky is sneaking up and only 1 behind Receiver. But as you can see, with these bonus points, a lot can happen. Sharky and Receiver in the front row. Receiver, Tiki J, Sharky, Hughes, McBrien, single file into turn 2. Back stretch. Receiver, Tiki J, Hughes, Sharky, turn 3. Same order, and it's Receiver, Tiki J, Hughes, Sharky, McBrien, and Bolo. So at the halfway point, Hughes is still way out in front by about 20 points. Receiver, Tiki J, and Reed each have 20 to 21 points. Now remember, these cars are rotating position. Each car will have their turns in the front. So these scores could change dramatically in the second half. McBrien and Sharky in the front row. McBrien, Bolo, TJ, Sharky, Receiver single file into turn 2. McBrien and Bolo battling, then Sharky and Reed turn 3. And McBrien looks like he's trying to just edge out Bolo, and then Reed nips Sharky at the finish line. Then Receiver and Hughes. So McBrien gets the win with bonus points. He and Sharky are threatening Tiki J for that final advancing spot. Hughes still has a commanding lead. Bolo and McBrien in the front row. But it's Bolo and TJ leading their group into turn 2. Now Bolo sideways, and outside pass by TJ into turn 3. Oh, there's no stopping the youngster this time, and he is on board with the win. Then Bolo, McBrien, Reed Hughes, and Sharky. So after 5 straight DNFs, the youngster TJ gets the win with bonus points. But the bigger story is McBrien has overtaken Tiki J for that fourth advancing slot. Also, we got Tiki J, Bolo, Sharky, McBrien, and Receiver all within 5 points of each other. A lot can happen in these 2 final laps. TJ and Bolo in the front row. Reed, TJ, Hughes, Bolo, Tiki J single file into turn 2. Reed flips. Uh-oh. Let's see what they do. Can they navigate turn 3? The group is pushing TJ down the track, and it's McBrien. Hughes, Bolo, TJ, and Tiki J, and Receiver and Sharky just barely missed out. So nice come from behind victory for McBrien, and he has quietly moved into second place behind Hughes. Bolo has taken over that 4th advancing spot from Receiver. Final lap coming up. Reed and TJ in the front row. Reed spinning, swirling, leading the group into turn 2. McBrien with a pass, then he flips. Oh, what happens here down the backstretch? There's carnage. Oh, Hughes is off the track. She's finished. And Reed emerges as the lone survivor. He will get all 7 bonus points for a perfect score of 16. So Stephanie Hughes, Lance Reed, Andy McBrien, and Kareem Bolo Brown Palos, those are your 4 advancers. Well, that was kind of fun. Let's do it again. Semi-final group number 2, starting from the back. Dale Taylor from Hillbilly Racing driving Zombat Blue. Queen Annie Crowhurst from Queen Bee Racing driving Lethal Diesel Blue. Gigi from Big Bishop Racing driving 24 Hours in Gold Finish. Lorntown Abercrombie from Spania Lanes driving the Dose Roadster. King Danny Crowhurst from Queen Bee Racing driving Fair Lady and Tan Finish. The V-Man Vern Daves from Norman Vern Racing driving the Blueberry Donut Drifter. Mark Taylor from Riley's Racing DRC driving Rigger Motor in Black Finish. And Kevin Rose from Jimbo's Diner driving the Corvette CR8 in Gray Finish. Dale Taylor and Queen Annie in the front row. And Queen Annie out early into turn 2. And wow, down the backstretch, I guess it's the Queen and a bunch of jesters, turn 3. And all the way to the finish line. Then it's Taylor and Rose, Gigi, V-Man, and a distant King Danny picking up the rear. So a couple of bonus points for the Queen. Along with Taylor, Rose, and Gigi, those are your top 4. V-Man and King Danny are not too far behind. Rose and Dale Taylor in the front row. But it's Rose and Mark Taylor leading into turn 2. And those 2 are pulling away down the backstretch into turn 3. Nobody else is in sight. And they'll take it in that order. Then we've got the V-Man. Then Dale Taylor and Queen Annie. So Rose jumps to the lead, followed by Queen Annie and Dale Taylor. The V-Man has taken that 4th advancing spot from Gigi. Mark Taylor is also still in the mix. Mark Taylor and Rose in the front row. And it's Rose and Mark Taylor leading into turn 2. Coming around, Rose sideways locked with Taylor into turn 3. They straighten out, and it's Rose and Mark Taylor. Then Dale Taylor. And in a far distance, we have King Danny coming in with a slide for 4th place. So the only change here is Mark Taylor has taken over that 4th advancing slot from V-Man. Rose has built up a huge lead, then Taylor and Queen Annie. V-Man and Mark Taylor in the front row. Mark Taylor and Rose leading into turn 2. Same order down the backstretch. Here comes V-Man in that Blueberry Donut Drifter turn 3. And it's going to be Mark Taylor, Rose, V-Man, Dale Taylor, King Danny, and Queen Annie. So at the halfway point, Rose with a commanding lead, followed by Mark Taylor, Dale Taylor, and Queen Annie. However, the V-Man and King Danny are still a threat. King Danny and V-Man in the front row. And it's the V-Man leading Mark Taylor, Rose, King Danny, Abercrombie into turn 2. V-Man sideways. Mark Taylor smacks him, gets sugar in his eyes, spinning turn 3. And it's the V-Man. Then Mark Taylor and Rose, King Danny, Abercrombie, Gigi, and Dale Taylor. So a big win for the V-Man. He moves into 3rd place. Queen Annie has dropped to 5th. So Rose, Mark Taylor, V-Man, and Dale Taylor, those are your top 4. Abercrombie and King Danny in the front row. But it's the V-Man, King Danny, and Mark Taylor leading into turn 2. V-Man charging down the backstretch. King Danny sideways, blocking traffic, turn 3. And it's all V-Man to the finish. Then we've got King Danny and Gigi. So another huge win for the V-Man, and he jumps to 2nd place with all those bonus points. He and Rose, the 2 Taylors, they're your top 4, but King Danny is only 1 behind Dale Taylor, so keep an eye out for that. Gigi and Abercrombie in the front row. Gigi leading a spinning Queen Annie into turn 2. And Gigi is just flying solo down the backstretch. Check her out. Turn 3. She is all alone for her first lap victory. Then Dale Taylor, the V-Man, and Abercrombie. So heading into the final lap, we have the V-Man, Rose, and the 2 Taylors who are tied at 32 points each. Queen Annie and Gigi in the front row. Queen Annie, Mark Taylor, Gigi leading into turn 2. And Queen Annie is sideways. Dale Taylor in the group closing into turn 3. Annie straightens up. She'll take the win. Then Dale Taylor, Rose, Gigi, Abercrombie, and the V-Man. So Rose, V-Man, and Dale Taylor, they're in. But check out Gigi. She's tied with Mark Taylor for that final advancing spot. Hey, you know how we do it. We'll have a 2-lap play-in. The driver with 2 wins, or the driver with the largest winning margin, if they both win, will be the one to advance. Taylor inside lane, Gigi outside lane. Taylor with the jump into turn 1, and he is still pulling away into turn 2. No answer from Gigi yet. He is way ahead down the backstretch, turn 3, and looks like he's going to finish early. Gigi comes through, and let's see, check the clock. So Taylor has won by 2.07 seconds. He has that margin. Gigi will have to win by a larger margin on the next lap, or Taylor moves on. Gigi inside lane, Taylor outside lane. Taylor first at turn 1 again, pulling away into turn 2. Gigi sideways. Ooh, not a good sign. Taylor slows down. Oh, if he DNFs, it's a restart. He straightens out. All he's got to do is finish, and he does it. So Taylor is going to move on to the finals. And here we are, our 8 redeemed drivers for the finals. Let's get cracking. From the back left, Lance Reed from Hillbilly Racing, driving Prototype 24 Blue. Andy McBrien from Madness Motorsports, driving the Batmobile in blue finish. Mark Taylor from Riley's Racing DRC, driving Rigger Motor in black finish. Dale Taylor, no relation, from Hillbilly Racing, driving Zombot Blue. Kevin Rose from Jimbo's Diner, driving Corvette CR8 Gray. Stephanie Hughes from Spania Lane, driving the Greenwood Corvette in gold finish. Kareem Bolo Brown Palos from Miniature Car Racing, driving the Strawberry Donut Drifter. And the V-Man Vern Davis from Norman Vern Racing, driving the Blueberry Donut Drifter. First time 2 Donut Drifters have made it to the finals. Let's race. Reed and McBrien in the front row. Reed, V-Man leading the group into turn 2. Reed is way out in front. Turn 3, come here. Oh, Reed flies off the track, and V-Man takes over. And it's raining blueberry donuts, folks. The McBrien and Hughes, Bolo, and Dale Taylor. Oh, wow. So V-Man starts us off with bonus points. McBrien's 4 points back. We got a lot of racing to go. Oh, and remember, the top 2 will head to the grudge match against Matt Parisi and Brian Dykema. They were the top 2 from the main tournament. Reed and V-Man in the front row. Reed again leading the group into turn 2. Pulling ahead down the backstretch. Let's see how it goes this time. Turn 3. The group is gaining, but looks like he's going to hold on for the win. Then Bolo, V-Man, Rose, Hughes, McBrien, Mark Taylor, and Dale Taylor. So V-Man still leading. Bolo has taken over the 2nd place position. The two donut drifters showing how it's done. Bolo and V-Man in the front row. Bolo, Hughes, V-Man, Reed, single file into turn 2. Rose is on his roof back there. Bolo's pulling way ahead down the backstretch, turn 3. No answer from the others, and he takes it. Then Hughes, V-Man, and Reed, and then McBrien. So big bonus points for Bolo in this lap. That moves him 1 point ahead of V-Man for first. Hughes is third at 6 back from V-Man. Hughes and Bolo in the front row. Hughes, Rose, Dale Taylor, Bolo leading into turn 2. Now Hughes pulling away. Rose is sideways, blocking the others into turn 3, and it's all Hughes. Rose finally straightens out for second. Then Bolo, Mark Taylor, Dale Taylor, V-Man, Reed, and McBrien. So at the halfway point, it's the Bolo, V-Man, Hughes show. Bolo's leading by 4 over Hughes and V-Man. Those two are tied at 26. Then there's a 10-point gap down to Reed. Wow. Rose and Hughes in the front row. Hughes, Bolo leading the jammed up group into turn 2. Bolo takes off down the backstretch. Hughes, Rose, Dale Taylor in pursuit, turn 3. Bolo 180. Hughes is closing, but Bolo takes it. Then Hughes, Rose, Reed, V-Man, and McBrien. So another bonus point win for Bolo, and he's opened up a significant gap on the field. Hughes is second with 33. Dale Taylor and Rose in the front row. Rose, Hughes, Dale Taylor, Bolo leading into turn 2. Taylor pulling way down the backstretch and sideways, but here comes Hughes closing turn 3. He straightens and heads to the finish line for the win. Then Hughes, Bolo, Dale Taylor, V-Man, Reed, and McBrien. So Bolo and Hughes maintain their lead with Bolo 7 over Hughes. V-Man is 6 back from Hughes. Mark Taylor and Dale Taylor in the front row. And it's Mark Taylor, McBrien, Dale Taylor, Rose leading the group into turn 2. Mark Taylor and that rigger motor taking off down the backstretch, turn 3. And he's taking this thing by a mile. Wow. Then Dale Taylor, McBrien, Hughes, Rose, Bolo, V-Man, and Reed all finish in a group. So really looking like Bolo and Hughes will be your grudge match contenders. Bolo is 5 ahead of Hughes, V-Man is 9 back, and Rose is 10 back from Hughes. Final lap coming up. McBrien and Mark Taylor in the front row. McBrien, Reed, Dale Taylor, V-Man single file into turn 2. Ooh, Mark Taylor closing inside turn 3. McBrien brushes him off, heads to the finish line and takes it. Then Mark Taylor, Reed, Dale Taylor, Hughes, Rose, and Bolo. Well, not quite the nail-biting finish, but I don't think he cares. Congratulations to Kareem Bolo Brown Palos. From Miniature Car Racing, you are the champion of the Slingshot 360 Redemption Rally Tournament. Now, don't touch that dial, because we're going to step right into the grudge match I mentioned earlier. So we got Stephanie Hughes in that Greenwood Corvette Gold from Spunya Lanes. Kareem Bolo Brown Palos, we just mentioned him. Miniature Car Racing, Donut Drifter Strawberry. Then we're going to bring back Spy Dude in that Greenwood Corvette Blue from Aces High Racing. And our rally champion, Matthew Parisi from Gravity Track Grand Prix out of Australia in the Batmobile Silver. Hughes and Bolo in the front row. Hughes, Parisi, Spy Dude, Bolo single file into turn 2. Now Hughes on a breakaway down the backstretch, coming around. Whoa, ooh, nice save. Parisi closing, but Hughes takes it. Then Parisi, Spy Dude, and Bolo. So Hughes, the redemption runner-up, looking good in that gold vet. Parisi, Spy Dude, and Bolo, 2, 3, and 4. Hughes and Parisi in the front row. Parisi, Spy Dude, Hughes, Bolo, single file into turn 2. Now it's Parisi taking off. Wow, Spy Dude, Hughes, Bolo chasing turn 3, same position. And that is how they will finish with Parisi, Spy Dude, Hughes, and Bolo. So Parisi takes the lead by 1 over Hughes. Spy Dude is 3 back, and Bolo is 6 back. No real weaknesses with these drivers. Spy Dude and Parisi in the front row. Spy Dude, Parisi, Hughes, Bolo into turn 2. Spy Dude, Parisi, Hughes separating from Bolo into turn 3. And that trio, they maintain position. It is Spy Dude, Parisi, Hughes, and Bolo is a distant fourth. So Parisi, Spy Dude, and Hughes, they're all separated by 1 to 2 points. Getting concerned for Bolo though, they've created some distance here. He has finished last in every race. Bolo and Spy Dude in the front row. Single file. Ooh, Parisi passing Spy Dude in turn 2. Parisi, Spy Dude, Bolo, Hughes down the backstretch, turn 3. They maintain their position, and that's how they'll finish. Parisi, Spy Dude, Bolo, and Hughes. So at the halfway point, Parisi has opened up a 3-point gap over Spy Dude, 6 points over Hughes, and 11 points over Bolo. No DNFs yet, folks. Who's going to make the big mistake? Who's going to get the big win? Let's find out. Hughes and Bolo in the front row. Hughes, Parisi, Bolo, Spy Dude single file into turn 2. Hughes 180, still leading. Parisi chasing into turn 3. Parisi's trying to close on Hughes, but he just can't. So it's Hughes, Parisi, Spy Dude, and Bolo. So Hughes now tied with Spy Dude. They're both 4 back from the leader Parisi. Bolo is struggling with just 6 points. Hughes and Parisi in the front row. Oh, Bolo's left the building! Parisi, Spy Dude, Hughes single file into turn 2. Spy Dude and Parisi battling. Hughes chasing into turn 3. Oh, Spy Dude flips. What? Parisi is all alone. Then Hughes. Oh. What happened? Well, there's Spy Dude on his roof. And then there's Bolo way down in the gully there. So Parisi with bonus points increases his lead to 8 over Hughes. Spy Dude is 11 back. And Bolo is now 20 back and out of contention. This was the game changer we were looking for. Spy Dude and Parisi in the front row. Spy Dude and Parisi battling into turn 2. Bolo trailing. Parisi pulling away. Bolo passing Spy Dude. Trouble for Hughes back there at turn 3. And it's all Parisi. Then a distant Bolo. Spy Dude. And what happened to Hughes? Hughes fell off at turn 2. Well, folks, you see the math. Parisi has this bad boy buttoned up. The final lap will be a formality, but we're going to have some fun with it anyway. Bolo and Spy Dude in the front row. Spy Dude, Parisi, Bolo, Hughes single file into turn 2. Spy Dude and Parisi pulling away into turn 3. Those two are battling, but looks like Spy Dude's going to take this last lap. Then Parisi, Hughes, and Bolo. Well, any questions you had were answered today, folks. He is the real deal. Challenge was accepted, and the competition was crushed. For the second time, congratulations to Matthew Parisi from Gravity Track Grand Prix. You are the Slingshot 360 Grudge Match Champion. Thank you so much for following this series, race fans, and thanks to the drivers for their participation. We got a pretty fun group over here. Make sure you check us out on Facebook at Slingshot 360 Diecast Racing. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the races.